So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up and use the very basic family room form that allows you to capture just at a very core just the number of visitors that are visiting your family room. So to do this, we're going to go to the Tools menu and we're going to go to Web Module Settings. And in a previous video, I just showed you how to create a family room and where to find all this stuff here. So now I'm just going to sort of jump straight to it. So I'm going to go to the family room that I want to set up as a simple family room. I'm going to go to the family room form settings tab. I'm going to enable the family room form for this location by just checking off that box if it isn't already. And then in order to use the simple form, so I want to give my family room a name here. I'm just going to call it the basic family room. And I'm going to choose that I want to use the simple form. When I do that, you're going to see here that these forms here are all disabled, these options here, so the registration, because this is all related to the detailed form, which will be covered in a separate video. As well, the instructions that are available are limited to just what's in the simple form. If I change this, pardon me, if I change this to use detailed form, you'll see here that there's a whole bunch of different set of instructions that are there. So I'm going to go to the simple form. And right beside the Options tab here, there is a tab called Simple Form Settings, where there are a number of options. So as it stands right now, I have none of these additional options for address and contact information enabled. I don't have any services or anything like that enabled. The only thing that I have done is I have just enabled a basic form that captures the number of visitors and whether or not this is their first visit or they've visited before. So what you would do is you would load this page on your iPad or tablet or something like that that you have in the family room that's going to be capturing this information. And I'm just going to go back here. If you want to find the actual URL for that web form, it's under the web form info tab here related to this particular family room. And this is the link that you would need to load on the on that tablet or that iPad or anything like that. There is also iframe code here if you want to embed it into existing website. I don't think you would typically use this for the family room because this is going to be something that's going to be dedicated in the family room, but it is available there if you want to embed it into your website for whatever reason. So if you want to do this, you can copy the link. You can get it over to the tablet some way. I've maybe through shared favorites or something like that. Either way, you can use the copy link, or you can just click on the link here, and what it will do is it'll load it up in my browser window here. So now I have my basic family room. And what will happen is your guests will walk up to the tablet. They will simply say, there are two of us here, and we have visited before. And the form just captures that information, and then it reloads it and is ready for the next set of visitors that come. So the next one comes through and says, this is my first visit. And it just does that. And you'll notice here that it's reloading the form automatically. It does show a message to confirm that you've received the information, and then it reloads it. There is a button that you can click to get back to that as well. Now, some of you may want to capture a little bit more than just the number of visitors. Let's say you also want to capture where the guests are from. So under address and contact information, there are options to capture the city. And you can also even require the city. You can capture the province or state. You can capture the postal or zip code. And then if you choose to enable that, you can make it a mandatory field, as well as the country. There's also an option to capture email address. So I'm just going to enable all of these options here. I am going to make these mandatory. I'm going to set the default country to be Canada in this case. I'm going to capture an email address and require an email address. So I'm just going to do that for the address and contact information. I'm going to apply that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload my family room form. So if I just drag this back over here for a second. So this is the form that was in its basics. If I now reload the form, I can now capture additional information in addition to just the number of visitors. So I can indicate where they're from. So let's say here, I'm going to say they're from Hamilton, and this is their postal or zip code, and I want to capture an email address here. And now I'm going to indicate the number of visitors, just like I did before, and indicate whether or not this is the first visit or visit before. And again, very basic. It submits the information and then gives a message here, which I'll show you in a second, where you can edit that, and then it reloads the form ready for the next one. So this allows you to capture a little bit more than just the number of visitors, but it's also not requiring you to ask for names and whatnot. So if I only want to capture the city and province, for example, I'm going to just say, or let's say I only want to capture the postal code that they're from. I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to give them the option of providing an email address. I'm not going to make it required. So again, I'm going to make those changes. I'm going to reload my form here. And now I'm only capturing the postal code, which is mandatory and optional for the email address. And then again, the number of visitors and whether or not they visited before. Besides that, there is also a few other options in terms of capturing visitors. So this just captures, as you can see here, it's just saying how many people are coming, one or two, and is this the first or have they visited before? You can also break it out if you want to know how many adults and children are coming. You can say we want to capture the number of visits, but we want to separate it by adults and children. So I'm going to apply that. And then when I reload my form, and apologies for this taking long, Zoom has a habit of really slowing my computer down. So now you'll notice here that I still have my postal code and zip and my email address, but now I have two keypads here, one for the number of adults and one for the number of children. Now, the number of children defaults to 0, but it only captures one number. So if because typically you're not going to have more than 9 people visiting, I imagine, at least for probably 95% of the time. So all they have to do is say, okay, there's 2 adults and 1 child. And then same thing as before, is this their first visit or have they visited before? So they tick off the box. Okay, so it's asking me here for the postal code because I hadn't filled it out. And now I'm going to say here, first visit. And now it's captured a postal code, 2 adults and 1 child. And the form just confirms and then it reloads. By the way, that message, you can control how long it stays up. If I go back into my settings here, and I can say the thank you message disappears after X number of settings. So you can go up to from 0 to 10 settings. So 0 means it won't show up at all, and 10 sticks around a lot longer before the form reloads. Now, besides address and contact information, you may also want to know which ward or unit in the hospital these families are coming from. So we can add a box here to capture that. I'm just going to go back to my simple number of visitors per visit here. And then I'm going to say I want to capture the hospital unit that they're from. And I also want to capture which services they're here to use. And I'm going to give some options for them. So I'm going to say kitchen and the napping lounge. And if there are additional services, I will show you. I've shown you in the separate video. The first video I showed you where you can add additional services to that list. And then there's an option here to require at least 1 service to be selected. And then besides that, I might also want them to be able to leave me some comments. So there's a comment box that you can apply as well. So again, I will apply those changes, and then I will reload my form. And so now I'm capturing the zip code and optionally the email address. I want them to let me know which ward they're in. So let's say they're in the NICU. So I'm going to select that. And if they select other, it's going to prompt them to enter what that other ward is. So I'm going to say NICU here. And which services they're here to use is now just a bunch of radio or check boxes, pardon me, that they can tick off. So that say here they're here to use the napping lounge, and they might want to leave a comment, right? And then the number of visitors. So again, it allows you to just tweak the form a little bit to capture additional information that you might want to have. So I'm going to say 2 visitors, and we've visited before. Oh, I need to do my postal code again, and I'm going to submit that information, and it's captured now all that additional information that I'm selecting here. So again, very simple. You just select the options that you want to have the form set up to do. It allows you to capture very, very basic information or a little bit more to round out, to be able to know where people are coming from, what they're using, what hospital unit they might be from, whether or not you want to capture the number of adults and children. That gives you some flexibility in terms of what to do here. You'll notice, if I go back to my form here, I have this blue bar at the top where I have some text. There's also some text here in the services used, as well as in the comments box. You can control what's on that text here by going to the instructions tab. So the form introduction corresponds to the blue box at the top. So that's the form introduction there. And then services used. So I've got here, please let us know which services you're here to use. You can bold and italicize that too. If I want to make this bold, I'm just going to highlight the entire chunk here. I'm going to click the bold button, and it puts markup text around my message here, so that that information can be marked up the way I want it to appear. So that's for the services used. So again, if I come here, that would be related to this section here. It's going to display that text now in italics and bold when I apply that. And then for the comments, for a prompt for the number of visitors. So what will happen here is if I try to, I'll put in a zip code and select a unit. But if I try to submit without indicating the number of visitors at all, there's a box that comes up here that says, please tell the number of people that are visiting. You have the ability to control that text as well by editing that here. And if you want to use the form in English and French and Spanish, you can go to the corresponding tab here to indicate the text that you want to have there in that corresponding language as well. And then the last option here is the thank you message, and that's the one that appears after I've submitted the form. So again, I'm going to apply this to show how the markup for the service is used. I'm going to reload my form here. And you'll see here now that my service is used is in bold and italics here. So now if I go to submit this, I just want to show you where the thank you text appears. I'm going to say one visitor has visited before. Once the information has been submitted, this is the thank you text that's set up. And mine is set up to disappear after 3 seconds. Again, that's this setting here under the simple form tab. So you can have it displayed for a longer period of time if you want to. 3 seconds is probably sort of average in terms of enough time for somebody to read the message. If you have a longer message, you may want to make it longer before it disappears, and then they can tap the go back if they're done reading before the timeout happens automatically. So that's the configuration of the simple form. Then once you have obviously captured some information, you're going to want to be able to download into GRMHIS in order to be able to report on that. So that is found here under the Tools menu, and it's under, Manage Family Room Visit Data Collected Online. So this is a place where you can do that. The other thing you can do is right on the day use and family room tab here, there is a button now that says Get Web Visits. It has the same as another place where you can do that. I'm just going to show it in here. I'm going to say Manage Family Room Visits Collected Online, and I'm going to select my family room here. You'll see here I've got some data up to the 21st of October. I want to now download the additional information that I've just captured today. So I'm going to click the download button, and it's going to contact the website, and I've recorded 6 basic visits that I've captured through my family room form. And now I can go through and I can see those here. And you can see we're capturing visitors, the number of adults and children. Where I haven't captured it, those are just going to be zeros. And then city, province, or state, postal code. Mine is configured for Canada here, but for you in the States and so on, this will say state and zip code. Where I've captured an email address that's appearing. We've got wards, and there is the comments and notes that were there. You can double click on any one of these to view the details that are here. You can also see the programs that were used and the notes that were left for each individual one. You're also able to add visits here as well. So if for whatever reason your iPad was down and you've gone to pencil and paper or a spreadsheet or something like that to capture that information, you can come in here, select your location, then you can go ahead and you can add the data manually from your spreadsheet if for whatever reason you were unable to collect it electronically. So to do that, you're just going to go through and fill the information out as you would need to, and I can save it and it gets added from there. There is a very basic report that you can produce that simply shows you the date and time and the number of visitors. The times are in 24-hour format. That's just to save some space, but this is just simply capturing the number of visitors and families that are visited. If you want more detailed information, you can export this to Excel, And if I'm just going to put this on my desktop here, so it's going to be family room visits. And essentially what it is all the information that is um, in that the table there is downloaded into Excel. I'm going to probably flesh out these reports more in the next version as I start getting feedback from you in terms of how you want to use this. But so this, again, this is the place where you can capture information about your family room without requesting personal information about your family. So we're not asking for names, we're not asking for um, birth dates and all that kind of stuff. What we're simply doing here is just capturing numbers along with some potentially additional information to help you locate where people are from, what hospital units are frequenting your family room, and maybe email addresses if you want to interact with these families, maybe via sending a survey or something like that. Those are some options that you have there as well. So that is the simple form that will hopefully allow some of you to be able to capture basic family information without asking your families for too much. The next the next video that I will go through now will be covering the detailed form and the different options that are going to be available for that. And see you over there.